What's up, my CSC family? Manimal here, coming at you from beautiful KCK, better known as Kansas City, Kansas. You're probably wondering, okay, what in the heck are we doing outside of the Red Creek Valley? I mean, we're not taking a hike from Missionary Ridge today. We're not checking out a great overview of Durango. Why Kansas? I mean, it's flat as a pancake, right? Well, there's a lot more to Kansas than pancakeness. And what we're gonna be doing today is catching a swarm of probably about 30 to 40,000 live honeybees. And we're gonna put them in a box. And this fall, we're gonna be getting some honey from them. Let's check it out, all right? What you guys are seeing here is called a swarm. In the spring months, the bees will repopulate to the point where their hives are too crowded, and the queen bee will lay a new queen, and she, along with about half the worker bees in the hive, will completely just leave the old hive, find a place to hang out on a tree. In this case, this is a peach tree in my orchard, and chill there until they find a new home. It could be a hollow log or a tree that has a place they can safely get out of the elements from. Now that we've got all of our equipment down here, the bees have calmed down and settled in. We're going to just do a little safety survey to make sure, okay, ladder's in a safe space to catch the bees. I've got my bee PE on. And then all of the equipment's in the right place. I've got a swarm box, which that's what we're gonna put the bees into. And that's gonna be their new home. Also, these are called frames. These are what the bees will build wax to make and store honey in and lay brand new baby bees in. Inside my beekeeper's box, of course, you have a smoker, but also some little tools like a screwdriver. These are called your frame grippers. Pretty handy too. You can pick up a full frame of honey with those. I also have, this is what to some people might look like a crowbar, but this is actually called a hive tool. Just kind of a glorified pry bar. And what this does is help pry open your hives. Also another type of pry bar. I've got a lighter to light my smoker. So, now that we have everything in place that we need, I know it looks like a lot of stuff, let's catch some bees. So how in the heck are we gonna get all these bees into that little box? My first step is I spray them with a little sugar water. Now when you try and capture a swarm of bees, if you ever become a beekeeper, or if you just like bees or insects, or if you're a nature lover, never ever spray bees out in the wild like this with any kind of bug spray or insecticide. They're very fragile bees, and they're very important to our ecosystem with all the food that we eat. Plus they're just really cool. But the reason I'm spraying them with sugar water is that that'll help them stick together, because when I, here in a second, am done, I'm gonna shake all these bees into a little box, and the sugar water is gonna keep them more focused on cleaning each other off. Plus it's a tasty little treat, and they're not gonna fly away as readily. Plus the sugar water kind of helps them stick together. We almost forgot one important step. Before you put bees in a hive or a swarm trap, you always want to bait it for them to make it enticing for them to stay, because it's a new, unfamiliar place for them to live. And what I have here is lemongrass essential oil. This is something that bees love and are, for some reason, very attracted to. Just squeeze a drop or two of this into the trap, and it is good. Now again, like I said, when you're working with bees, it's always important to have your bee PE on, or your bee protective equipment. What I have here is a coat and 2 good pairs of thick beekeeper's gloves, and I have a nice thick pair of Carhartt pants on that the bees can't sting through. So when you put it on, you always want to make sure you're zipped up all the way so you don't get a bee in your hood. It's happened before and it's kind of scary. I'm going to give them a few more sprays of sugar water here, and to make my job a little easier, I'm going to cut away a few of the smaller branches. Now my peach tree, I definitely don't want to cut off all the branches because no branches means no peaches, and I like peaches. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Anyone bring back some good camp memories? I hope so. Now the hardest part about catching a bee swarm is to make sure in these 10,000 bees you catch the queen in the box. It's a very big gamble, but to me it's a gamble worth taking because I love bees, and this, if I can catch them, will be my 10th hive of bees. And it looks like you can get a really good position under them, so we can try and get as many as possible. Now we sprayed our sugar water on them, and all we got to do is shake them. This is going to be awesome. So I'll bring you guys down here. You got to be very careful because look at all the bees on the ground too. Don't want to smash any of these little ones. And like I said, BPE is very important. You might not be able to see them all, but there are thousands of bees flying in the air. And getting stung by 1 or 2 bees doesn't hurt, but if you get a lot of bee stings, that's going to hurt really bad. So, that's how you catch a hive in the wild. Well, not really the wild, my backyard. Okay, here we are about an hour later, and we got a lot of activity at the hive entrance. Bees going in, bees going out. So, good news. We got a brand new hive. They moved in just fine with the queen, and maybe here in about a week or so, we'll put them into a normal sized bee box, which will look a little something like those guys over there.